So I'm Estelle Bailey, I'm French, and I actually very recently became British, quite proud of it, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm part of the club now. I'm a happy mom of two, and have this amazing Chihuahua with massive ears. I've started in the log gaming industry back in the 20th century. Army Men was the first project I worked on. And in 2016, I joined Hi-Rez Studios in Brighton, and I'm the Localisation Director. Oh, and yeah, I'm a professional imposter. I have a very good sense of humor as well. Okay, talking about imposter syndrome. Are you familiar with that? Oh yeah, I can see lots of people. Okay, so when you hear imposter syndrome, what comes first to your mind? If you have any, you can raise your hand. You're going to do the presentation. No? No one? Yeah?
Feeling like you're not worthy of being where you are.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, anyone else? Yes?
I'm not being confident enough.
Yeah, it's a good one. So I made a list because I knew you might be a bit shy. So it's a non-exhaustive list of how people with their imposter syndrome, when it's triggered, how they feel. So they usually feel, I can include myself in it, I'm fraud, I don't belong here, I diminish my successes and achievements and highlight my challenges and difficulties. Everything I have achieved so far has been easy. I don't deserve my role, I don't deserve my promotion. Everyone knows more than I do, or is better than me, or both. Yeah. I shouldn't need to ask for help or support. If I try something new, I'm going to be exposed, I'm going to fail, and I'm simply not good enough, right? So you might have felt this way before, or you might manage people who feel this way from time to time. So I think it was quite necessary to have this slide to have a good understanding about what in people's mind when their imposter syndrome is triggered. But we are not alone. All these people, quite talented, right? I'm sure you recognize all of them. There's more. Well, there's some blank because, well, I had other picture, and then my daughter said, no, you can't use this picture. They're concept, so concept picture. So you won't know, but there are some concept people who also have an imposter syndrome. Yeah. So we feel less lonely when we see all these brilliant and talented people suffering from imposter syndrome, right? So let's see an official definition from the Oxford language, which defines the imposter syndrome as the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills. Ooh, that's a long definition. If we go back to the origin of the term, so it first appeared in 1978 as imposter phenomenon in an article called The Imposter Phenomenon in High Achieving Women. Yes, at that time, 1978. The two psychologists who wrote the article, Dr. Clance and Imes, they believed that it only affected women. Well, several reasons for that. Well, first, the women produce less testosterone, which is a confidence hormone. And also, we are more willing to talk about our challenges and difficulties than men. So we had more data on women. Well, since then, some more research have been done and has shown that imposter syndrome actually affects everyone, regardless of gender, of occupations, culture, origin. And a study from 2011 estimates that 70% of the population will experience imposter syndrome once in their life, which is quite a lot, 70% of the global population. There are some shared traits by people experiencing imposter syndrome. They are known to be high achievers, perfectionists, overworkers, but they're also people subject to self-doubt, lack of confidence, and anxiety or depression. So while the imposter syndrome is widespread, because we see so 70% of people worldwide, well, no one necessarily developed the same syndrome. Dr. Valerie Young is an expert on the topic, and she identified 5 types of imposter syndrome. The first one is the perfectionist. So the perfectionist, well, basically they're never satisfied, so they put a lot of pressure on themselves and they end up with high level of anxiety. The Superman or Superwoman, they feel inadequate, so they push themselves to work as hard as possible. The expert, they always want to learn more, they are never satisfied with their level of understanding, and therefore they underrate their own expertise. And we also have the natural genius. So the natural genius, they set very high goals for themselves and they feel desperate when they don't succeed on the first try. And lastly, we have the soloist. Guess what? They prefer to work alone. And they tend to see asking for help as a sign of weakness or incompetence. Okay, so we've seen what happened with 70% of the population. But what about the others? You might want to know, the one who do not suffer from imposter syndrome. Look, Megan Rapinoe. Well, I love this woman, but this is her celebration pose. She's not suffering from imposter syndrome, right? She owns her success. That's how she is, basically. And people who do not suffer from imposter syndrome, they enjoy their success, their skill, and they're comfortable with their weaknesses. They also take ownership of things they do well, and they are unapologetic of their successes. So now the question is, can we become one of them? Can we overcome the imposter syndrome? I have good news. Yes, we can. We can overcome the imposter syndrome. It's a work in progress thing. Still, don't expect it to be a quick and easy change, right? I like to take the comparison with running. I like to go running. So you don't run a 10K by downloading a running app, right? You need to train. You need to train quite hard sometimes to go out of your comfort zone, to change your habits, and to be resilient. Well, exactly the same rules apply here. So I've put another list, a non-exhaustive list of ways of tackling the imposter syndrome. First, you can talk about it. Get support, mentors, peers, coaching, lots of different support. But talk about it. Learn from others. Think, well, if they learn how to do it, if they learn that skill, how can I learn it too, right? Rather than envying them, saying, oh, they're so good, they're brilliant, I never get there. Try to learn. Get feedback to know where you are versus where you see yourself. You might see that there's big difference sometimes, and document your skills. Adopt a growth mindset. That's quite a new tendency, the growth mindset. But we are less likely to feel like an imposter if we see ourselves as a work in progress person, right? And we'll be more open to changes and more open to opportunities to learn and grow as well. So growth mindset is quite a good thing. Celebrate your successes and focus on the positive. Be happy, like that's saying. It's very important. Positive, positive, positive. Accept that perfectionism is impossible, because it is impossible. Just you're not perfect, sorry, and I'm definitely not perfect. So just accept that sometimes things can go wrong, and it will teach you to be more resilient, and it will improve your well-being as well, which is good, right? Challenge negative self-talk. What is negative self-talk? Sorry, I just need to go a bit down in my notes, and I lost the track of the mouse. Anyway, well, I'm going to do it without my notes. So basically, the negative self-talk messages are these messages that pop up in your mind and that leave you with a feeling not so good about yourself. Like, oh, I suck. Oh, they're so brilliant. Oh, this presentation before was really brilliant. I shouldn't be here, really. These kind of messages. It's not really good. But you know what? They don't define you. They aren't a part of you. They're just something that you experience when you're struggling with the imposter feelings. So try to challenge them, take a step back, and it will leave more room for self-compassion message as well, and feeling better about yourself. And that's exactly what you need when you try to work on your imposter syndrome. and decide it's okay to be good enough, because yes, it is. Remember that not everything has to be difficult. And say yes when you feel like saying no to opportunities or to Ukie when they ask you to do a talk or suggest that they might need people to talk. Because remember what is the worst that can happen, right? So you might look at this list and think, well, yeah, easier said than done. And you are right, it's easier said than done. And to make it happen, it requires a little bit of what I call assertiveness, right? And because there's often a lot of confusion about this term and misunderstanding sometimes about what assertiveness is, I've added another definition. So the American Psychological Association defines assertiveness as an adaptive style of communication in which individuals express their feelings and needs directly while maintaining respect for others. This part is quite important. So, what did I do? I've added another list, a non-exhaustive list, but because people often associate someone assertive with someone a bit bossy, a bit aggressive, just wanted to make sure we could have a few notes on what being assertive involves. Showing emotional intelligence and having empathy is a good start. Valuing yourself and others. Having a dialogue and listening to others with calm. It's important. Anger is for aggression. We don't need aggression when we want to be assertive. Not backing down because you feel less important than others. Looking for a win-win situation and finding a good balance with others. Being confident enough to state your case, knowing that you may not be successful, it happens. Taking responsibility and ownership of what you want. Standing up for yourself and your rights while respecting the rights of others. So remember, being assertive, yes. Being aggressive is a big no-no. Aggression, as I said, is about anger. Assertiveness is all about respect, mutual respect. So be direct and confident while respecting the rights of others. And that will be fun. A few takeaways. Yeah, that's my French humor as well. Sorry for this takeaway. I can't help about seeing it. Well, okay, so just two takeaways. Sorry. So try to develop your analytic comparison skills. Meaning, stop enviously comparing yourself to others. The envious comparison is what I mentioned earlier, like, oh, I wish I had their skills, I never get there, they're so smart, I suck. Stop that, because, don't look for instant results. It will only trigger your imposter syndrome. It will affect your happiness. We don't want that, right? No. It will affect your self-confidence, self-appreciation. So instead, try the analytic comparison. It's much more constructive. Basically, it's, okay, what is better about their work? What can I learn from them? How can I apply that to my work, to my life? Maybe they're using different tools, better tools, or maybe they had more trainings. Maybe they simply have more years of experience, right? So message basically here is, if they learn how to do it, I can probably learn it too. So you really want to focus on developing your analytic comparison skills. And the second message is a bit like a cheesy one, believe in yourself, like the Cher song of the 90s, sorry. Old woman tourism. But yes, it's true. Believe in yourself, believe in others. Because if your manager gave you this promotion or this level of responsibility, it's because you deserve it, right? Don't question it, don't overthink. Ooh, overthinking is the worst. And I know what I'm talking about, really. But yeah, they trust you, you're not a fraud. So yes, just accept the promotion, accept this level of responsibility. Everything, some things you do in your daily task at work might sound easy, and it's completely fine, because what sounds easy for you might not be easy for your peers, even for your manager, so, and vice versa. So we all have our skill set, right? So, and that's fine. Yes, a few exercises. Well, we're not going to do the exercise right now, but if you want to take a screenshot or do that later, why not? see if you can associate one of or several of the 5 archetypes mentioned earlier to your imposter syndrome. So perfectionist, superhero, expert, natural genius, soloist. The choice is yours. You can do a mix. Try as well to identify when you experience the imposter syndrome and what triggers it. It can be anything, not necessarily work related. It can be obviously if you're in talk with your manager or with your peers or a very extrovert person, but it can be at a party as well. So, or in a conflictual situation. So we're all different. There's lots of different reasons when the imposter syndrome is triggered. And once you manage to do that, try to analyze your behavior during this situation. What did you do? Did you back up? Did you back down? Did you question your own view, remain silent, leave the room, or just feel stupid, ridiculous? There's lots of different reactions because we're all different. But that's interesting to try to identify them, to start working on them. And another participation from you, another blank slide. I'd like you to name one action that you will take tomorrow. I can give you some example and I can start with this one, don't worry. Some people, I've done this talk before, and some people say that they want to practice more gratitude. They want to share my concerns with others, stop saying I suck, avoiding apologizing so much, learning more about imposter syndrome, doing some research on it. So as for me, when I did the training, first time I did the training, I decided to list my achievements and wins once a week. And I'm still doing it. Every Friday, I take 5-10 minutes to reflect on my week and list my achievements, my wins, things that made me happy, actually. So really resonated what you said earlier, Dax. It can be someone smiling in the street. I smile and they smile back. I have very low expectation. I'm happy, I think. But that makes me happy, to be honest. So, tomorrow on my list, I'm positive that, this presentation this evening will be there, because obviously talking in front of lovely audience. I know some of you, but I don't know all of you. So it's an achievement for me. But also I called my bank this week, and I had postponed this for weeks because I love the Scottish accent, but I really struggle to understand it on the phone, and I have my French accent, so sometimes communication can be difficult. So I was very proud of myself. I did it, and I think they understood what I wanted. So we never know. Do you think about things that you can take? Obviously, if you ever felt like an imposter, but 70% of the population, you can't be part of the 30%, right? Not all of you. No. Yeah. Well, it's okay. You can talk. You can think about it.
Practice saying thank you for accepting what I've just done rather than apologising for it.
Yes. That's accepting compliments as well. It's just Anyone else? Oh, you're very shy. Some books, TED Talks, podcasts. You see, that's just a very small percentage of things you can find online. Definitely recommend the Happiness Advantage book. Not sure you've read it, Dax, but it's really good. And these TED Talks are amazing as well. Podcast from Valerie Young, but there's lots of things. The Neil story, very short one, but on imposter syndrome between two famous Neil Armstrong and Neil Gaiman. It's a very short but quite nice. But you can share that later, because there's links and stuff. Question? See? 15 minutes, I'm pretty sure. No? Not sure.
I try not to count.
Okay.
Thank you very much. You've shared a couple of observations, if that's all right. So, firstly, do you bank with Barclays?
No.
Sorry, mate.
I was September, but yeah.
You love running. Now, I go walking every day, and walking is brilliant, because sometimes I finish the walk and I feel like I'm a genius because I've thought of something, or at the end of it I feel pretty terrible.
Why? Why would you feel terrible?
Well, sometimes because you're left with your own thoughts.
Oh, I guess,
When you
but that's
go
interesting,
when you
yeah.
go running,
Yeah.
what do you think about? What's your experience of running?
Lots of things. First, it's a fight with me. I hate. I mean, I like Megan Rapinoe, but I hate collective competition or things. So
Right.
it's a competition against me running. So that's what I like because it's only me against me. And then
What about the other runners? Do you not compete with them as you're
I
running
hate
along?
it. Yes, I did. I did a few. Yes, two half marathon, the Brighton one.
Right.
But I hate it. You know, being in the pen, starting pen, and being like an animal, really, waiting for the signal. You know, and you have this 10, 9, 8, and everyone seems so happy, and I'm super stressed because I want to do a better time, and I'm competitive with myself. I just, so, and yeah, I hate the atmosphere of this running thing. But I listen to audiobooks actually when I run, and yeah, or music depends on my mood. But that's really a competition state of mind, but just with me.
Perfect, thank you. Any questions from the audience for Estelle? Indeed, at the back there.
How do you manage like the difference between there actually being like some things that you are bad at maybe or have to work on versus like trying to ignore stuff?
Trying to? Sorry?
Trying to ignore stuff.
What do you mean, trying to ignore stuff?
Like, I guess with imposter syndrome, you're trying to like reassure yourself that the things you're thinking aren't true, but sometimes maybe they are true. Like,
sometimes I said definitely, yeah. No, yeah. I think trying to. I think it's really weird to say that, but I like to think I'm a humble person. Yeah. The simple fact of saying I'm humble doesn't really make me humble, right? But I think humility helps a lot. It's also quite tricky as well because the more humble you are, sometimes the more it triggers your own imposter syndrome because you're so humble that you're so shy of making your point. You know, in a room especially full of men, because well, video game industry, sorry, but Thomas, you know, lots of men. Well, like,
It's not his fault.
No, it's not his fault, but he's making fun. But no, but sometimes some can be very, overconfident, you know, and when you're not that confident, when you lack of confidence, you hesitate to raise your voice and really say no, but I really think that. So you try to learn. It's really getting out of your comfort zone, but definitely sometimes. Oh yeah, I really suck. That's for sure. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you very much for your talk.
Wait.
Oh, hang on. Oh, of course.
Thank you, Nancy. I got this.